I sat down in person with games media personality Colin Moriarty to talk about my lifelong doubting faith and the reasons I still hang on to it. Despite being an atheist for many years, Colin said about the interview, out of all the Christian-themed episodes we've done so far, I must readily admit, this one personally made me think about and question my own beliefs the most. You can listen to that conversation right now by following the link below. I hope you enjoy it. We are doing Extra Life again this year, where you can mash buttons, roll dice, play games, and help kids along the way. I hope you'll be a part of that with us. Stick around after the video for more information. christiangeekcentral.com. Well, let's kill them. Oh, dang! There's more people there than I thought there were gonna be. Alright, well, I guess let's get serious. This is a hard game to stream with. I prefer to play this game and just be silent and focused. Yeah, let's just start with that, I guess. Yeah, let's start with that. That's just overkill a little bit. You have something else? Yeah, let's do this one. Archstate says, suggestion, you can move your CGC logo to the top left of the screen and add a game title. Yeah, I thought of that. At one point, I used to keep game titles up there. I don't know. I've been a little more lax, but I don't know. I guess if I hear from enough people that they'd like to have game titles back up again, then I can do that. Sometimes I put it in post, not very often. Let's see here. Yeah, let's try that.
Say.
What? Did you just say something to me? That was weird. Everybody still focused on the task at hand? I feel like some of you guys aren't attacking when I want you to... Wait, what? What? No, 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 no. Attack this dude. There we go. Archsaint says... that way we can remind you to change the game title when you forget, LOL. That's one of the reasons why I stopped putting the game title up there. I'm just like, I'm tired of trying to remember this dumb thing. Although, I'm trying to think, in Extra Life I changed the title. You know what? Maybe I'm just out of practice. I think during the patron live streams that I've been doing once a month, that's the ones that I haven't been doing on. But I think usually my pattern has been... I think like last February, last time I did a public stream, I was putting the game titles up in the upper left. And I just forgot to do it this time. Yeah, I think it's just the monthly patron things that I have been lazy on that. But I guess I'm being lazy this time too. Almost. All right. Okay, let's pick up some loot. We get anything good? I mean, this might be good for crafting, I guess. Not super excited about that. Yeah. Alright. I don't know, I'm not really feeling it. I'm ready to move on to something else. This is a cool room, though. You know what? Maybe I'll just investigate this room first before I call it. What's this? You hear a faint, reedy voice singing tunelessly. She has outdone herself with this one, Bale Seer. A common robber with some natural talent for cipher abilities. It has gone to his head. The Bazo believes he is the next Antonino, I think. In any case, the world would be well rid of him. Still, he has yielded promising results. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Soon as a tank. I've sealed him within one of the tanks. Okay, so maybe this is telling me I should go look and try to free some dude out of the tanks. Oh, almost walked into that one. Oh, crap, I did. Oh, man, I tried to turn. Oh, well. There goes Elderast. Ugh. Short clicks from around the corner. Alright, I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. Or quit while I'm not too far behind after that shock. Archsaint says, do you use scripts for your party? And he thinks they can be set to auto-heal and attack. I haven't messed around with scripts in a while. I don't think well, no, let's see. My priest. I know they can... My priest does do some auto-healing, I think. But I feel like he doesn't keep up the way I want him to. And so, usually what I just have them do is just all of them attack. And just keep attacking. And then I micromanage with whatever else I want them to do. And that seems to produce the kind of experience that I want. Alright. Something else. Let's see, the two games I said for sure I was going to play other than Pillars were Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Far Cry New Dawn. So let's do some Odyssey. Okay. Oh, nice. Rugged Warrior says, well, if you save that dude, I hope he tells you tanks. Very nice. Mmm! That Crunch and Munch chases the Dorito nicely. I saw a tweet, unfortunately. I'd prefer to see no tweets, but a little while back I realized I should be a little bit more on top of using Twitter for my work. But anyway, I saw a tweet, I think, from Phil Spencer the other day that said, just a friendly reminder that you can mute your microphone while you're eating. Sorry, guys. Yummy. Hey, Adam. Welcome, welcome. From, sunny? No. Is it getting wet and dreary in Australia yet? I know you guys are a little mixed up and you have winter this time of year. I loved it, though. I think I told you once that when I was in 7th grade, I went to Australia with the Phoenix Boys Choir. And it was during our summertime here. And by then, I'd lived in Arizona long enough that I missed the rain from Montana, where we lived until I finished 3rd grade. And so, being on that trip, we stayed, you know, there was some host... Each city we went to, there were host families that would each take a couple boys home to stay at their house while we were in town. And we stayed at a lot of... we stayed at a couple of, like country homes, It's just nice to be out in the rain. It's really cool. See, we were in Canberra, and did we go to Sydney? I think we did. I'd have to get out my old photo album to remember where all we went. And we did briefly go to New Zealand, too. Let me ask you this, Adam. Does anybody use boomerangs out there? Do you use them like Americans use frisbees? Which frisbees aren't like a big deal in America. But, you know, if you go to a park now and then, you'll see people throwing a frisbee around. If you go to a park and families are playing, are you likely to see a boomerang being used? I bought a boomerang in Australia. It was a authentic Aborigine boomerang, which means it was in a gift shop and it broke when I when it was made of wood, but got it home and actually no, it broke. To be fair, it broke when it hit like this concrete grate in the middle of a retention basin. Oh, you'd love Tassie then, or do you pronounce that Tassie? I assume that's short for Tasmania. That's where you live, right? I don't think we went to Tasmania. Is that's not a city though, is it? It's like a district or like a state type of thing within Australia. I want to say it's something like that, some kind of subdivision of land. Pretty wet and dreary. Late autumn heading toward winter. Oh, man. I love it. It sounds great. Oh, hey, hawk thing. All right, let's see what we haven't done nearby. Adam Calling says, yeah, boomerang throwing is not quite as popular as kangaroo racing. Shut up. What does that involve? Like, it's got to be people who, like, they have a kangaroo that races for them. I mean, it's not people riding. It's not people riding kangaroos, is it? It can't be people. I mean, you could totally mess with me right now, but it can't be people riding kangaroos, right? Like in the pouches? I don't think the kangaroos would abide some human in their pouch. All right. Oh, it's an island state right down the bottom of Australia. Okay, then I know we didn't go there. I didn't know it was an island. Okay, that's cool. All right. Well, I think I was going here before. What level is this stuff around here? 26, and I'm level 30. What's my equipment looking like? 27. I mean, my equipment's okay. Well, let's try to be sneaky and go to this place. Adam says you can fit a mid-sized person in the ruse pouch. No, I'm totally messing with you. But you could fit a baby in there. Which totally reminds me of, I know people didn't like the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer, and I respect that. Especially, you know, those who are fans of Sonic and have some pre-existing expectation of what that property should look like when it's in CGI form or whatever. I didn't care one way or the other. They're doing a redesign on his look now. That's fine. He already looked like a cartoon to me before, so if they want to make him look more cartoony, I'm fine with that. But I loved those somewhat dark lines in the trailer. Like at the end when, I think his name's James Marsden, the actor, who's like the cop in this one that's helping him out, it looks like. He's got him in a duffel bag, and he's standing by an elevator, and people are like, is that your child in that bag? And he's like, no. I mean, yes, it is a child, but it's not mine. And look at him, they start walking away. That kind of humor, I'm totally into that. I was laughing more at some James Marsden related stuff than I was the Jim Carrey stuff. Like when he sees him Sonic says something, meow or something like that, and then he screams and tranks him. That was maybe the big. No, that wasn't the second biggest laugh. The biggest laugh was the it is a child, but it's not mine. Hello. Hey. Let me go here. Do you see me? Oh, yeah, you saw me. Come here. Investigate. You better check this out. What was that strange thing? I don't know. Oh, come on. Come investigate. Let's see here. Adam says regarding our boomerang conversation. Oh, hang on. We have frisbees. You might find a boomerang in a souvenir shop, but it's not something that a person would commonly own. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that it's probably more like part of the heritage, the cultural heritage, historical heritage of, excuse me, of Australia, but not like a thing that people are still doing today. So that doesn't surprise me. Rugged Warrior says, any plans for Star Wars Day? I gotta be honest. I don't have anything particularly against Star Wars. I don't like the fact that May 4th is Star Wars Day. I am annoyed by the joke of May the 4th be with you, because it makes it sound like you have a lisp, and I understand that that's the joke. I understand. I just don't like it. It makes it seem ridiculous to be a Star Wars fan, you know? Not ridiculous in the sense that, like, if you have a lisp, you're a ridiculous person, but, like, to purposefully do that, it's just, silly. And I don't know, oh, let's see. Can I, let's do this. Hey. All right. Go, girl, go! Stop that and duck! Let's see here. Oh, that was your favorite part too, Rugged Warrior, the child in the duffel bag thing? Adam says, I agree. I think Jim Carrey's Dr. Robotnik is going to be way too mustache twirling for me. Is that what the original character's like? I have no idea what the original character's like. But I would assume that, you know, being a classic video game villain, he would kind of be a mustache twirly. But maybe you were hoping for an adaptation that grows it up a little bit. I really don't want to fight these guys outright. It didn't go well last time. As long as they don't start searching the bushes. Yeah, you stay out here, dude. Let your boss go in there. I'm gonna whistle at you in a second. Yeah, right over here, dude. Right here. Come on, get that exclamation point that makes you come over and die. There we go. Yay! Okay. So now things are looking a little better for me. There we go. That's how I like it to play out. Easy, casual, sneaky killing. I really like... I don't like getting into combat. And at least not in these games. What do we got here? Back and forth along the Diolkos. Talk about repetitive work. So it's the fastest way to get a boat across mainline. You may feel walk along. So it's just some, like, trivial history stuff, maybe? What's up here? Anything? No? Alright, next location. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there's some treasure still to loot here. Well, let's keep looking. What am I missing? Is it up here? There we go! And Ubisoft and their box-checking goodness. Let's find another box to check. Ooh. Altar of the Cyclops. Let's go check this out. This could be, fairly involved and interesting. Let's see here. You can hear my son practicing piano in the next room. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Adam Calling says, my parents are here to help do some stuff around the house, so I'm going to head off. Might pop back in later if you're still going. Have fun. Okay, cool, thanks. I'm going to be at this for another 2 hours and 40 minutes about. Oh, nice. Man, I can just get lost in these worlds. Just give me those rustling bushes and crunchy boot falls and lush environments. Just talking to a friend yesterday, and his wife is our worship pastor, and I've been introducing her over the last couple of years to some open world video games. She's been kind of discovering that, and she and I are alike in that we both like nature. I think in games, in big open world games, we didn't really want anything to do with nature in the real world, because there's bugs and things out to kill us. Come here and get that exclamation point. I'm just gonna keep whistling at you. There you go. Yeah, that's right. Come over here. Make it stop. Make it stop, dude. Wah! There we go. Oh, I forgot to use my bird. Bring me bird. Bring bird. You want a bird? Is this a bird in Russia? I've been watching the Marvel movies all the way through from beginning to end. Some of them are on their way from the Amazon. I went back and I bought all the ones that, even the ones that I was like, I don't need to see that ever again. I enjoyed Endgame so much, I'm not going to say a word about it other than that. And it made me want to go back and play these other games, or watch these other movies, you know, because they made me feel some things about characters that those characters' previous movies didn't make me feel. I'm like, oh, maybe I can retroactively apply the things they made me feel in this movie about these characters. I can apply it to those movies that, you know, I can see them in a different light, you know. So that line that was horribly quoted with a bad Russian accent was Iron Man 2. Which was, that's a good movie. I didn't like it quite as much as the first one, but still really enjoyed it. You're watching them too, Rugged Warrior? Where are you at? I just finished. I'm watching them in chronological viewing order rather than release order, which they're mostly the same. But like I started with Captain America, the First Avenger, and then did Iron Man, Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Avengers, and now I've got Iron Man 3 sitting on my Blu-ray player to watch. Don't turn around, don't turn around, don't turn around, don't. There we go. What? Oh, I didn't know you were a... Okay, what's your deal? Oh, man. I thought you were just like a civilian hanging out here. Yeah! That's so cool jumping down like that. Oh, you're at Infinity War already. I'm trying to pace myself a bit so that by the time I'm ready to watch Endgame again, it will be coming out soon on Blu-ray. Did you start watching them before you went to watch Endgame, or after? We've got, on the forums, over at Christian Geek Central, we've got a big, actually two spoiler threads going right now for Endgame. If you haven't partaken yet. Lots of speculation about what's coming in light of what happened in Endgame. I've been enjoying that. I spent a little too much time on that thread this morning than I probably should have. Like, Bader, you got work to do. Today was a crazy busy day trying to fit so much in. I was gonna try and did I complete everything here? I might have. Yeah, I think so. Yep. Okay, cool. Yeah, I had to get kind of creative with my content production today to get everything out before the stream. That's not actually a hostile place, is it? Well, it's got someone I can kill, so let's go. Let's go and do that. This game really started working so much more for me once they added the ability to keep enemies from auto-scaling to match your level. I really like to grind. I like to be able to grind and get ahead of my enemies' levels. So that if I'm willing to put in the time, I can just be awesome, you know. That is totally my style of play. Oh, that's right. You said earlier that you haven't seen Endgame yet, which is why I said I'm not going to spoil anything. That's right. So you're at Infinity War, so you haven't... Okay, so you are all prepped and ready. When did you finish Infinity War? Is that recently that you just watched that? I went in, I think I watched Infinity War again. Oh, that's right. I didn't give it my full attention because I was on a Marvel binge over the Christmas break. Oh. Me to the rescue! Oh, come on. There we go. I will accept money. No? Okay, alright. But I watched the... I wasn't ready to watch it again. But I watched it through with the commentary on. I think kind of while I was playing games or whatever. And that was really insightful. In fact, I watched Civil War again with the not Civil War, Age of Ultron. When I was binging Marvel and over the Christmas break, I bought Age of Ultron. Did I just blow past the place I was going to go to? Come on now. This is the problem of trying to do two things at once. Not good at multitasking. But watching the commentary, Joss Whedon's commentary for Age of Ultron, well, and I think watching the movie just fresh after years gave me a new perspective on Ultron. When I watched that movie the first time, I found him to be a very jokey villain, and I didn't like that. I was like, he's joking all the time. He's being funny. Why are they going for laughs? And something clicked with me, whether it was the filmmaker's intention or not, I don't recall. I think it might have been, after I watched the commentary. But it wasn't the intention necessarily for him to be jokey. Oh, that's right. In fact, Joss Whedon pointed out at least one line that he was like, this always gets a laugh, and I was never going for a laugh here. I was always surprised that this line, whatever it was, I think it was an Ultron line, gets a laugh, you know. And what I appreciated, both through my second viewing and then more so once I watched it with the commentary, was that Ultron was a character that just didn't understand, really, emotions. He certainly didn't understand the value of human life. And so he was always like, you know, when someone was hurting, like he cuts off some dude's arm, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that, but ooh, that looks like it hurts, you know. He wasn't being sarcastic. He was kind of in his own way caring just a little bit, but not nearly enough, you know. And so there was this eerie, detached coldness to Ultron that, for some reason, my brain interpreted it differently the second time I watched it, and I found him to be a much more interesting villain because of that. Whereas before I thought they were just like making him funny just to make him funny, you know. Oh, I need to use my bird. I need to use my bird. Let's see. Got them all. Oh, there's the big bad guy. What's over here? Oh, that's something in a different location. That's probably everybody. All right, let's go get him. Oh, there's a guard right there. How come my bird didn't see him?
I need to stay hidden.
Okay, well. Oh man, he went flying. That's a little crazy. Alright, here we go. Oh no! Oh dang, that was close. Oh. Okay, the guard is changing positions. I gotta move here. I played a lot of this the last few hours of Extra Life, I was reminded, as I've been posting those videos. I just posted part 21, I think, just this last Thursday. And I think there's only 2 parts left. And I was really surprised that I was playing this game at the end of the stream. I thought I would need to play something like scary, that was really intense, that would kind of keep me awake. But something about these Ubisoft games can really get me into a nice groove. Are any of you going to be bothered if I do this here? Oh? Oh, oh, oh. Don't be scared. Listen, here's what I'm going to do. Okay. Rugged Warrior says, I was curious if Ultron was planning on sparing Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver because it did seem like he cared for them. Oh! Oh, that's not gonna work. Dang it. Oh, dang it. I didn't handle that well at all. Jeez. Oh! Dang. There we go. Dang. I do not like getting into that kind of business. No siree, Bob. Hey, don't be scared. Oh, she doesn't mind me sneaking around at all, does she? Yeah, you're definitely next, dude. I think there are like two factions in this game, and you can maybe kind of side with one of them. I don't. I've just been killing everybody that lets me kill them. That's anybody that's wearing armor. It's like you're dying. If there's loot to be gained, you're going down. Francisco says the phlebotomist business. I guess so. Yeah. If I'm phlebotomist, that's like fluids, like blood or something, right? Hi. Okay, you keep worshipping. I'm gonna take all your god's crap. All right. Oh, there was something else to steal. No? Did I get it all? Maybe I did. Okay, well, what's left? Look for more icons. I didn't see any more. Alright, I'm gonna roll on the +2 page of many topics. See if we can burn off one of these. Roll! 17 plus 2 is 19. Hey, it's a YouTube user and Spirit Blade Productions patron, Barbells and Joysticks. Did you like the Hobbit movies? Oh, dang it. The rest of the question got cut off. It was like I think it was my wife and I liked them. Unfortunately, I did not. I think since coming to YouTube, maybe one of my Hobbit movie reviews. I think the Hobbit movie started coming out before I was on YouTube. But the last one, 5 Armies, I think you can find on YouTube. Not my cup of tea. This is, though, dang it. I appreciate that, like the original Hobbit book, the Hobbit movies were, I think, clearly intended for a younger audience. That's kind of a weird direction to go, though, because you notice the Harry Potter movies, and books, age with the audience, which I think is really interesting. I don't know that she did that intentionally with the books as she was writing them, but it is kind of cool that they grow up with the audience a bit. And I tend to like that in fiction when it's kind of like serialized or whatever. Like in the Spirit Blade trilogy, the first one really is inspired a lot by kind of 90s Saturday morning cartoons. It's got that kind of energetic vibe, maybe even of anime a bit. But once you hit Dark Ritual, things really start to grow up fast, and that continues into A World of Shadows. And so, I mean, that's that's kind of what I dig. I like the circumstances, the tone to become more serious and more grown up as things move along. And I think, as much as I've not connected with all the Marvel movies, they've kind of followed that pattern a bit. I think they kind of went back and forth. Like, I feel like the early Marvel movies were kind of like a little more grounded and serious, but with humorous moments peppered throughout. Because going back and watching that first Iron Man movie again, I was just reminded again, dude, when he's in this POW camp at the beginning, well, I guess technically it's not a prisoner of war camp, but you know what I mean. That's dark stuff. It's heavy stuff, and then they really kind of lightened things up for a while there. And then once the Russo brothers started making Marvel movies like Winter Soldier and Captain America Civil War, and then the Avengers movie, the Infinity War and Endgame, they really got heavy, but still with humor. They reminded me more of the early, the very first 2 or 3 Marvel movies, but a little bit heavier even, And so, anyway, getting back to the Hobbit movies, I guess it just felt weird to have watched these grand epics that really had weight to them, and then to go back and see some of those same characters again in a story that was, by comparison, weightless, It still had some, darkness to it, some heaviness to it, just not near as much, so I am curious about watching them again. Like, I think it's possible they will enter our house on Blu-ray for my boys. Like, I'm wondering about the idea of watching those with my boys before watching the main Lord of the Rings movies. I don't know. So, not my cup of tea, but I can see why others would enjoy them. Just for, I think, a different audience, a bit. I must have cleared this out. I gotta use my bird to find that other chest. Here we go, bird. See, that looks like a different location. So, where is the treasure that I still need to find here? I gotta clear this now, or they're all just gonna respawn later on. And we can't have that. Hey, Barbells and Joysticks. I just answered your question about the Hobbit movies, which you submitted many, many moons ago. Please warn me, he says, if you guys talk about Avengers Endgame, I haven't seen it yet, going tomorrow afternoon. Yeah, Rugged Warrior, I think, said he's going tomorrow specifically, too, so that's cool. Enjoy. No, I'm not going to give any spoilers. Let's see here. Could it be up here somewhere? This looks like a likely... Did that dude just drop down from the ceiling? Did you guys see that? There it is, okay. Yeah, you see me stealing. You'll be fine. Wait a second. Rugged Warrior says, just heads up, I believe the extended edition of Battle of the Five Armies is rated R? Really? I was thinking I wouldn't be up for the extended editions. I was like, oh man, these already feel way too long. This should have been like 2 movies tops. And they made them 3. I think they could have done it all in one 3-hour movie, but now they turned it into 3 3-hour movies, added a bunch of stuff in from another book. It's like, oh my gosh. But I might be interested in a rated R version of the Battle of the Five Armies. I don't know. I don't know if just adding gore to it would make it what I want it to be, though. Legolas just seemed way too powerful in that one. I felt like the way they treated him in that movie was in response to how much fans loved him in the original trilogy. Kind of like a, what's that dude from Star Wars, that bounty hunter that everybody loves? Boba Fett. Kind of like how Boba Fett in the prequels got treatment that you know he wouldn't have gotten if there hadn't been this cult fan following around him for years and years leading up to that. That's kind of what it felt like was going on with Legolas. Oh no, there's nothing to do there. Okay, let's find... Oh, yeah. Let's take out this bounty sponsor to remove my bounty. That's kind of... I like that system. I like that you can pay off... Because I don't like fighting these mercenaries. They're more trouble than I want to have in life. But they did such a good job with this game of just giving you stuff to do out in the open world, giving, like, respawning quests that will take you to areas in the open world. Dude, that's what I want for Ghost Recon Wildlands. Can we get that kind of update for Ghost Recon Wildlands? I didn't get... They just had an update for it with John Barenthal, who plays the Punisher in the Marvel TV universe, and he was also on The Walking Dead for a season or so. And they said, I'll have to look up the announcement, but they said something like this event that they put out for Ghost Recon Wildlands sets the stage for what's coming next. And so the speculation right now is that that's either a major update for Ghost Recon Wildlands or a second game in the series, another Ghost Recon Wildlands game, which I would love. I would love. So that has me a little bit excited, more than I already was, for E3, in hopes of getting some kind of a Ghost Recon Wildlands announcement. Any of you guys gonna watch E3? Even though Sony's not gonna be there, I think the ghost of Sony is gonna be all over E3. Everyone's gonna be looking at Microsoft and seeing what they do, and they'd be like, oh, what's Sony gonna do with this? How does this compare to what Sony's already said? You know, it's gonna... Them not being there might make it, even in a different way, more intriguing. I don't know. We'll see. Alright. I guess I gotta clear out this whole camp or something. Alright. Let's do another topic. Let's see if I can talk about something else while I kill a bunch of people. Oh, let's see here. I don't know if this is a... I'm going to treat it as a real question, even though it's a joke, too. Francisco Ruiz of the Retro Rewind podcast, also a patron over at patreon.com/spiritbladeproductions, submitted the question, what is best in life? And he follows that up in parentheses saying, to crush your enemies, to see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentations of their women. Which, of course, is Conan. Arnold Schwarzenegger's Conan. I do prefer the Jason Momoa Conan movie. I wish it didn't have the brief bits of nudity that it does, but those are fairly skippable, and I really like everything else about that movie a lot. Have trouble with Arnold's Conan. Anyway. What is best in life? That's a tough one. This is going to go in a different direction probably than Francisco was anticipating, but since turning 40, I mean, leading up to turning 40, which was about a little over a year ago, and then I just turned 41, this has been a great year of processing for me, but it's been a heavy year too. There's been some weight and sadness and not quite anxiety, but a little bit of fear. I've just been thinking about death more, thinking about the years I have left more. You know, those kinds of things that are pretty typical for people to be thinking about when they hit 40 or so. And, you know, there's so many things that I could say are best in life if I were to really try to tackle this question seriously. But my wife is probably the first thing that I think of, and my boys. So grateful for them. What an amazing godly woman I am married to, who has such class and dignity and humility and wisdom, and beauty, and yeah, I'm just so privileged to be married to her, and that was kind of a source of a little bit of like worry and sadness, just thinking, how many years do we have left? Who's going to go first? Am I going to go first? Is she going to go first? And thinking about eternity. Eternity is something that has historically freaked me out the more I spend time dwelling on it, because I can't comprehend it. I can't wrap my head around that. And so because I tend to have a fear of the unknown and a desire to control my circumstances, when I try to think ahead and in my mind plan out eternity and how that'll all work out, I can't wrap my head around that, so I can't control it, and so therefore I have some fear related to it. And so as I was analyzing myself and thinking about this and praying through this and doing a little bit of reading on it, both in Scripture and then in a book that I got from some biblical thinkers who have studied fear and the nature of fear in a biblical and a psychological context, I realized that something that's going to be important for me is to, just trust God, to trust the character of God, to trust the goodness of God, both for my life right now and as I think about after this life and eternity, And so what I'm trying to do, to get back to this question of what is best in life, I can think about all these different things that are just wonderful and I'm so blessed to have. And what I want to train myself to do is to more quickly and immediately, in my mind, see those things and credit them to God. And not just credit them to God, but see God's character in them. See the love of God in the love that my wife has for me. All these traits that I admire about my wife, her wisdom, her love for me, these are traits that she has developed as she has submitted to God and His ways. And His ways are based in His character. So all these blessings I'm experiencing from my wife as a result of her character, from my boys as a result of all the wonderful things about them, they are all reflections of God's character and God's goodness. And so what I want to train my mind to do is to see those things and say, wow, this is the love of God. This is a little glimpse of the love of God. This is a reverberation of the love of God having its effects on my world around me, and to see that more and more, so that I begin to increasingly look forward to the great unknown ahead of me in eternity, and how that's a wonderful unknown, So what is best in life? All the things that God has brought into it in all their multicolored variety, That's, I think, how I would want to answer that. I think the way that I typically would have answered that before would be to isolate one or two things, maybe, say, my wife. But see, by doing that, I'm clinging to her. And I had a great conversation with a woman. We started a podcast a few months ago at my church where I am just interviewing different people from different walks of life in our church and talking to them about their stories. It's called the Living Stones Podcast. You can find it if you do a search on iTunes for Living Stones, Red Mountain Community Church, you'll be able to find it. And there's a gal who just lost her husband last summer. And she's just a remarkable woman who's had a great sense of joy throughout all of her life. And her joy she was hurting greatly when her husband died, but her joy wasn't diminished. And so I really wanted to pick away at that and just kind of what's the deal? Because some people that are quote unquote joyful as believers, I can get to know them well enough to see this is they're living in denial of they're not grounded. They just don't seem like fake people. You know, you've probably met someone like that at some point, who's just kind of comes off as kind of plastic, you know? And so it's really extra special for me when I run into somebody who is joyful and they're the real deal. And she was the real deal. And so I really wanted to like, what is that? You know? And so some of these thoughts that I'm kind of sharing that I've reflected on came from her and her seeing the love of God in these things in her life, the character of God in these things in her life. And she said something interesting. She said, I think for people in my stage of life, we are in the process of, God is in the process of weaning us from everything except Him. And I thought, man, that's really interesting. Because there does come a point of life, as I've known for years, and I've been trying to do what I can to prepare for it, you know, in terms of what kinds of things I study and meditate on in Scripture and prayer. But, you know, as we get older, if we live long enough, we will see people die, we will see our health fade. All these things that we enjoy in life will begin to be stripped away. And so if I live that long, I want to have built up a lifetime of memories, beautiful memories that I associate with God's love, so that when I am in those final years of my life, maybe bedridden, maybe in terrible circumstances, I can have absolute confidence in the love of God and in what I have to look forward to, you know. So that's kind of the journey that I'm on now, and that's way deeper and off, I'm sure, from Francisco, what you had in mind with that question. But anyway, that's how I would want to answer that question, what is best in life. And, you know, the pillaging and all that stuff too is good. All right, let me catch up on you guys a little bit. I got distracted. Look, it's nighttime in the game. Rugged Warrior says, did you watch Sony's Direct they did a few weeks ago? Yeah, that was the one that was about like the VR stuff, right? With the Iron Man thing at the beginning. I did watch that. Yeah, it was interesting. I didn't feel like there was anything that I necessarily would want to comment on specifically from a Christian perspective, but I do try to stay in tune to those things so that if there is something I feel like would be worth commenting on from a Christian perspective, then I can do that. But let's see here. So Barbells and Joysticks, you're going to check out some of E3, but with no Sony press conference, you're not as much looking forward to it, maybe. I'll check out Bethesda, Ubisoft, and Square Enix. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward and curious about all those. Hopefully Square Enix talks about their Avengers game. Yeah, I agree. I'd love to hear more about that. I'd also like a deep dive with Dragon Quest Builders, but I don't really need that because it's going to come out like just weeks after E3. Oh, I'm sorry, Francisco, who says wrong Pater. Oh, excuse me, wrong Pater, all in caps. Arnie is the best. Okay, yes, you are correct. I don't know what I was thinking. Barbells and Joysticks agrees. What? Arnold is way better. Hey, Eclectic1995, welcome. Let's see here. And then we're all greeting Eclectic. Welcome, Eclectic. All right. It's always fun when I do these streams and get to connect with some of you guys live that maybe I just read your comments and interact with you there, or some of you I haven't heard from in a while, so it's cool to connect with you. Rugged Warrior says, I'm hoping we get a PSX this year. I'm thinking we will. Oh. Did that dude walk away this whole time? I've been sitting outside this fort, and I was looking for... Oops. That dude that was in charge of my bounty or whatever, that's the only reason I came here. I think he totally walked off and went to the other side of the country while I was doing all that talking. So, don't need to be here anymore. Let's go somewhere else. It is time for Extra Life again, and I'd love for you to be a part of it with me. Here's a recycled but slightly modified promo to tell you more. Once again this year, Christian Geek Central is participating in Extra Life. This is a charity that raises funds for the Children's Miracle Network of Hospitals, which provides free medical care to children whose families could otherwise not afford it. And this is very often for critical, life-saving treatment. Joining our team only requires a willingness to ask your family and friends to consider donating toward your fundraising efforts. Participants also usually do something fun and game-related to draw attention to their fundraising efforts, like a special game night at your home or your church, or like me, you could do a crazy 24-hour video gaming marathon. Now, I'm theming it around video games, but really this event can be themed around any kind of gaming, which includes both video games and tabletop games of any kind. What you do to raise funds is entirely up to you, but I would love for you to consider joining the Christian Geek Central Extra Life team. As team leader, I'll be there to help answer your questions, provide some helpful tips if I can, and just in general be your fundraising cheerleader and try to draw attention myself to your fundraising efforts. You can get more information about the event as a whole at extra-life.org, and if you choose to sign up there, be sure to select Christian Geek Central as your team so I can get in touch with you and then just help in whatever way I can. Fundraising can begin at any time, but our main push is going to be through the month of October leading up to November 2nd. That's the annual Extra Life Game Day, when I'll be streaming my 24-hour video gaming marathon live and trying to stay awake without throwing up. More details on my live stream as we get closer to it. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.